So marketing your business is where the cash flow starts to grow. Once we've got that foundation of mastery, it's really about building the results for your business, that bottom line profitability. Now, how do we do that? Well, our marketing formula really is broken down into 5 key areas. Each of these key areas has its own playbook, and each of these key areas has somewhere between 60 and 80 strategy cards that you'll be able to install in your business. Now, of course, your coach will work through these with you and help you grow the business. But if we take a look at leads or prospects, the first part of the formula is saying, how do we get more leads into the business? Okay. And again, with more than 80 different strategies, it's really important that we pick the right ones and test those and measure those to get your lead generation up in the business. Then we take a look at your conversion rate. Your conversion rate is the difference between the prospective buyers and actual customers. And so there in the sales area, and whether it's installing our full sales system, which can be a 12-week training program for your salespeople, whether it's installing just some of the strategy cards to improve your conversion rate, or whether it's just simply installing our measurement system so that you actually get to know what is your current conversion rate. And by measuring it, usually we see a marked improvement just by the focus on counting the numbers and getting to know your numbers. But your leads multiplied by your conversion rate equals your number of customers. Now, I'm sure you're already aware that if you get a small improvement in each, it multiplies to give you a bigger improvement in the number of customers. Like 10% more leads and 10% better conversion actually is not 10% more customers, it's 21% more customers, if that makes sense, because it's the multiplier, 10% times 10%, not plus 10% sort of thing. Well, then we look at your repeat business. Again, more than 70 strategy cards that you'll choose from with your coach to install in the business. Once you've chosen those strategies, you'll go through the number of transactions, you'll work that playbook and start to understand how you install this. Now, when you go to the ABoS system and you fill out the initial questionnaire and you go through and work out what is our current position and then what do we need to install to get to where we want to go, we call that an alignment process. Okay, so we're aligning where are we now, where do you want to get to, and what is the plan to go from there to there? What do we need to install? What operating system needs to be a part of that? Well, what we look at in the number of transactions, the repeat business part of this, is again, how do we get your existing customers back more often? And we're not trying to double it or triple it type thing in the first month or 6 months. We're trying to get a 10 to 20% improvement in repeat business in your business. And again, it multiplies right through. Then we'll look at your average sale. How do we get every single customer to spend just that little bit more, 10% more, 12% more, 15% more, 8% more? How do we get every transaction to be increased in value? Again, here we have over 70 strategy cards. You'll work through the playbook. You'll install those systems to make sure you and your team are getting the highest value out of every transaction with every single customer. And again, if you multiply it through, if you get 10% in leads, 10% in conversion rate, 10% improvement in repeat business or number of transactions, a 10% increase in average sale, that actually multiplies through to a 46% increase in total sales or revenues for the business. Which I know that seems crazy, but yes, the multiplier does work. It always has worked, and it's very basic math. But this is why installing all of these strategy cards and working through the playbooks and having your coach take you through that is really important. Finally, we get from average sale to your margins. Of course, margins is both an accounting thing and a marketing thing. If you're doing the right marketing, you can charge more for it. If you're getting the right type of customer, you can charge more for it. So in this particular area, we have over 50 strategies and the playbook that you'll work through to make sure that you're installing all of the right systems to get the best profit margin out of every single sale that you're doing. 10% improvement there on top of the other 10%, and that's 61% improvement in the bottom line of your business. Imagine what you could do with 61% more bottom line over the next 3, 6, 12 months in the business. So let's get to installing the ABoS system and let's get you started. Remember, the first 2 weeks are free. All you got to do is click that button, give us your details, and you get to meet up with a coach in that first social meeting to get things moving and make your dreams and goals a reality much faster.